drink of water, and you can have some fruit. We have apples and oranges and bananas. And we are celebrating Bob Rubin's birthday today. 100 years old. So why don't everybody grab a drink of water, and let me explain to you what we've done. We have set up an innovative program of putting history in our parks. And what that means is...
It's great.
What that means, he said with a little more volume, is that circling Anderson Fountain are several plaques that have pictures on them and stories and a little mark like this that's called a QR code. These QR codes are scannable on your smartphones. If you scan this, you will go immediately to the website for the Beverly Hills Historical Society.org, and right there in the corner it says Walking Tour. And if you click on Walking Tour, as we go house to house, there are photos of what it looked like, there are pictures of the stars who used to live there, there are videos on some of the famous things that happened, so you can follow along the tour on your phone. Now, for those of you who haven't quite caught up with this yet, you can also do it when I'm not here. So if visitors come and you don't know what to show them, you go to our website and you take them on the tour of the movie star home.
We call you and you'll walk them around.
That's right.
Oh, that's why we have the phone. Okay. So today we're trying out our phone tour. But first, we're going to line up around Anderson Fountain, which was named for Martha Jane
Leave that face in there.
who was the woman who helped found our city. Number what?
I'm Robbie Anderson. I want to show you something. This is Will Rodgers Park. My great-grandmother donated this park because it was part of the hotel grounds in 1912 to the city of Beverly Hills in 1915. And Phil is my friend, and he's going to say whatever it is that's going to make me look, or my family look good. But it's still Will Rodgers Park. And I'm just glad to be connected with the Historical Society and Phil. You know, Phil's our leader, and we got some great people working with us, and we hope you have a good time today, and this is all for fun and for free.
Okay.
All right, all right.
Okay, so we're going to now settle around the fountain, and we're going to take you around to the 6 films that we have embedded in the park. Actually, there are 5 films, and one of them is a panoramic photo where you can stand in front of the Beverly Hills Hotel and on your phone see what it looked like in 1912.
Wow.
So we also have one where Charlie Chaplin made a movie in this park in 1923. We're going to take you over to the spot that he made the movie, and you can watch the movie on your phone while you're standing in the spot where he made the movie. So we have embedded our history all around us in the park. Now, some of the other films, and I have to say my own personal favorite, is we have a film called Cowgirls and Indians, because Beverly Hills used to be the Old West, and our first landowner, when we were the rancho, her name was Maria Rita Valdez de Villa, and she had 7 daughters. So we had a lot of cowgirls around here, and we had Indians. So it used to be cowboys and Indians, not in Beverly Hills. It was cowgirls. And we have a little film that tells you the story of the famous Indian attack of 1854, which happened just across the street, by the way. So there are lots of fun films. Now, Robbie said this is called Will Rodgers Park. How many of you actually know who Will Rodgers was? Well, we got some good ones. Well, we have a movie on one of these plaques, and it's also on our website, called Who is Will Rodgers? Now, many of you would know that he was he was America's #1 movie star and radio star and columnist. So he basically was a media mogul in his era. One of the most influential men in America. What most of you may not know is right across the street on Beverly Drive next to his house, he built a polo field because he used to like to play polo with the other movie stars. When they were done playing polo, they would walk across the street to the hotel and drink. The bar at the hotel was named in his honor when Will Rodgers died in a plane crash in 1935. And that's why it's called the Polo Lounge, is because we had a polo field. Now, Will Rodgers did a couple of other amazing things for Beverly Hills. We got us our post office, he bought our first street sweeper, and then he did a terrible thing. He invented the reality show right across the street. In 1923, he made one movie every week. One week he had no idea what to do for his movie. So the movie is called No Story at All, and it takes place right on that corner. He's sitting in his lawn trying to figure out what his movie's gonna be. And he takes the kids riding in the horse rink, and they go in the car, and sure enough, the big event of 1923, some tourists come by, and they stop at his house, and they go up to Will Rodgers, and what do they ask him? Excuse me, do you know where Doug and Mary live? And he says, right up there, next door to me at the top of the hill, because there was nothing between here and the top of San Ysidro in those days. And in the film, which we have a little clip of in the park, because our history is in the park, he says, son, when I die, I want a statue of me right there where the hotel is now, pointing up the hill, saying, Doug and Mary live up there. So 100 years ago, we had tourists, just like now. So anyway, you can see a little piece of that film. We can see a little piece of the film Charlie Chaplin shot in the park. There's a film about how our city came to be. There's a film about the Beverly Hills Hotel when it was the only building in town. It was the church, it was the theater, it was the restaurant, it was the cleaners. Everything that went on happened across the street because it was the only building in town. So I'm going to take you over, and I have some special guests who are going to do an unveiling. And then from now on, all of our visitors, all of our residents can learn about our history right here in the park on their smartphones.
Did you look here a minute? This is important.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm home.